Hello there. I'm attorney Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law, and today I want to talk to you about why in some circumstances you may actually want your family to go through the probate process. Now, avoiding probate is a common goal for individuals deciding how they want their money and their property to be handled when they pass away. Now, it's a pretty worthy one, and it's regularly promoted by most estate planning attorneys across the nation. However, probate is not inherently bad process, and it doesn't always need to be avoided. Probate can simply be defined as the court-supervised process of distributing a deceased person's money and property. And the key word is court-supervised. Court supervision has both pros and cons to it, as you can imagine. In most cases, emphasis is rightly placed on the complexities associated with the court involvement. Namely, court supervision makes the process of distributing money and property a very public proceeding that is subject to timelines that are slow and often very much drawn out. The cost of the court involvement also tends to complicate the matters. Now, these factors vary depending on the value of the money and the property in question, and the state laws that govern the proceeding. However, many of these seemingly negative attributes can also be positive ones in limited circumstances. So when you're evaluating your options, the benefits of probate may outweigh the cons in some specific situations. And the first is when there are concerns regarding the proper execution of your wishes when you pass away. The second is when there is an increased likelihood of family disputes. And the third example would be when there's a significant debt or concerns regarding the estate's ability to pay off any monies that are owed. So I want to talk about each one of these factors individually to help you better understand why it might make sense for your family to go through probate. So let's first talk about whether there's concerns regarding the proper execution of your wishes upon your death. Now, in some instances, you may have difficulty identifying people or individuals whom you really believe will honor your wishes for how you want your money and property to be managed and how you want it to be distributed when you pass away. And in these such cases, you may want the probate court to oversee the process to ensure that your wishes are actually going to be carried out according to your documented plan. So your written plan of what you want to see happen and where you want your assets to go when you pass away. Now, probate proceedings may also be warranted when there are family disputes or conflicts between your heirs or your beneficiaries. And although privacy is often valued when it comes to family matters, the public nature of the probate proceedings may actually promote accountability among your family members in these examples. Heirs who might have acted unscrupulously or unfairly may be restrained if they know that there is a judge who is overseeing the entire proceeding. Now, the formalities of probate proceedings may also prompt more reverence for your wishes. And as a result, even if some heirs are dissatisfied with your outlined wishes, they'll be less likely to contest them because of the court's involvement. Moreover, there's a finality associated with judicial processes that could further encourage an individual to honor the judge's ultimate decision. Now, whether court involvement preserves family dynamics depends on the specific circumstances. However, the court's objectivity can definitely make the process easier to navigate. And sometimes there's concerns regarding debt that a person had when they passed away and that the estate may be insolvent. So when someone dies, the law requires that in addition to providing for heirs, the estate, all of the money and the property that the person who passed away owned, also has to pay off any of the decedent's outstanding debts or bills. This requirement can be a challenge if the bills and debts are high relative to the estate's value. When someone is insolvent, they do not have enough money to pay bills or debts. Insolvency can also exist at death if someone dies owing more than what their estate is worth. Now, the probate process can be extremely valuable in such circumstances because the court can determine how creditors are paid and how much they receive. Further, because of the structured nature of probate processes, creditors who want to be paid from the estate must submit to the court's requirements. One requirement is that they make their request known within a limited time frame. Failure to adhere to the court's timeline can restrict a creditor's ability to show up in the future and ask for payment. In most instances, debts that are not satisfied are lost. And as a result, probate may facilitate greater levels of loan forgiveness for an estate. The probate process can also facilitate paying off the estate's outstanding taxes. By handling these elements, the court-supervised provisions support settling the estate in a way that avoids future issues. Making decisions about how to handle money and property when emergencies arise requires considering many different factors. The factors that I just discussed with you are only a small example. Therefore, it is essential to really understand exactly what money and property are at issue and the nuances of the probate process in your estate and the overall goals and values that you want to preserve by passing on your money and property and your legacy. And when in assessing these various factors, you'll be able to consider the available options and select the one that is most likely to produce your desired outcome. Now, if you were a family member in the process of planning for your death or an incapacity, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're licensed in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire to meet with us and one of our team members to make sure that we can guide you in the estate planning process. We can evaluate your current situation and identify the types of plans that will best effectuate your wishes and protect your loved ones. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I am attorney Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law.